You're listening to the Muddling Through podcast.
So, welcome to the podcast, guys.
Oh, thank you. Great to be here.
Happy to have the infamous Hanley Bros as guests on my podcast.
Yes, infamous.
I'd say you guys are in my top three brother sets. Probably, I'd say top three. Top three is good.
Yeah, boost those numbers up.
I mean, you're competing with like the Mario Brothers and the Russo Brothers. So
okay.
kind of.
Well, by those standards, I'm not upset.
The Wachowskis aren't brothers anymore, and I wasn't that big of a fan to begin with. So it's like, well,
All right, that's fair.
And I don't really know the Property Brothers, so
I can't really beat the Mario Brothers. I mean, Mario Brothers maybe.
Half the time we are the Mario Brothers.
Yeah, for the Wright Brothers.
You guys went as the Wright Brothers for Halloween one year, right?
We did actually. That was last year.
And I'm pretty sure we did the Mario Brothers one year as well. So.
Solid.
We did that for like 3 years straight.
And probably a couple cons.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Honestly.
This is true.
Yep, I haven't had any complaints yet. I'm still short to lose.
Steadily shifting into the role for Mario every year.
If only I could say the same thing. I'm a good call perfectly challenged.
Anyway.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Apparently not grow.
Well, it's a bit late for that one. Don't worry, we'll get bioaugmentation off the ground and we'll get you sorted out.
Give me a call when it happens.
Put you in for some prosthetic legs, a spine like lengthening.
Oh yeah, just put me on the stretcher rack.
Would love like
ones.
friggin' chitty bang bang. When I first came here, I was a midget.
Well, man, I don't know if you can see that on a podcast.
Say what I want. A podcast.
It's true.
I don't even have sponsors yet.
We're not PC here. I mean, I'm a PC, but
Yeah,
I'm a PC. No,
Oh, I'm not.
I think you just lost some followers.
I'm a comic.
I was about to throw your computer and I realized it's okay, no, that's fine.
Fair enough. What have you guys been up to?
Oh boy,
Work, social life.
social life.
I was going to say, I didn't know what that was for a while, but
I'm kind of in that boat right now.
there's a lot of, I've sort of abandoned my never-ending video game sessions, and now it's more of a real-life thing. Bought like a kayak and go out with a girl every week, every 2 weeks or something, to do stuff like that. Like I said, I just ended up, Ben and I actually both just went to Fan Expo Boston and had a great time down there, seeing all the cosplays and freakishly massive suits that these people make.
Oh my god, unbelievable.
Giant Veronica, massive Freddy Fazbear.
Yeah, that one still gave me nightmares.
The stuff of nightmares.
And then started following us, and I was like, no, I'm out.
Had enough. Can't take it anymore.
But yeah, just stuff like that.
Pretty cool stuff. I'm just working a lot, same as Chris. I was in my own place for the summer, but unfortunately the rental ended, so I'm back with my mom, who cries 2 tears. But yeah, I haven't quite abandoned the never-ending gaming sessions yet. But
It's a couple years down the road.
yeah, sure, my girlfriend's gonna force me out of it sooner or later.
Wait till you start living with your girlfriend. Oh boy, it'd be much harder to actually do that type of thing.
Yeah, considering I don't even touch the computer when she's around, so.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
That's exactly it.
Right.
You wonder how these people change. It's your significant other is the one that makes you change.
Oh yeah,
Probably the biggest influencing factor.
I'd say so. I didn't go from being on a computer probably like 5+ hours a day, almost every day, to doing that once a week. So it changed the hobbies a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. You guys met doing theater, right?
Yeah, actually, we did. We met at an audition for a show, and then met again at the audition for the last show I just did. And we were in the show, and kind of hit it off, and rest is history.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Yeah.
How long is it? So this like complete tangent. How long has it been since you guys did martial arts?
Oh,
I made a very sad attempt to get back into it every like 6 or 7 months, but I haven't done it for real in probably 3 years.
Yeah.
which is really unfortunate because I don't think I ever physically felt better than when I was doing stuff like that every day, every 2 days. And now I get out of work, I go home, I sit on the couch and reflect on my dad bod.
Which we're
How could I
doing
change it now? Yes, indeed.
But yeah, it's been a while for me. Got my black belt when I was 18. I stopped training formally just a bit after that. So it's been a good 5, almost 6 years for me.
Well, you run into the issue with like your knees and everything.
Yeah,
Like
that's
your
true.
performances.
Definitely been a lot of injuries for me, which is why I haven't gone back.
Mm-hmm.
Injury on each knee right now. I'm nursing an ankle injury from the last show. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of just like trying to keep the body from falling apart right now. I do miss it though, and I'd love to go back.
Yeah. You guys did Taekwondo with that?
Mhm.
That's right.
Okay.
ITF Taekwondo, baby.
Which is pretty striking intensive.
Primarily, yeah. More focused on lower body kicking.
Mhm.
Not quite as much as the other Taekwondo Federation variant out there.
Okay.
But still, it can really do some stuff to your lower body. I've had my own fair share of knee injuries and ankle injuries, and I've healed up from most of them at this point. But like I said, just sort of having the life right now and trying to keep everything going just makes it difficult for me to find the time to go down and just train the way that I used to.
Yeah.
Having a lot of financial responsibilities definitely hurts your ability to keep following through with that type of thing.
Well, it's a damper on things.
Well, before, you had no problem. Just you'd have like a part-time job, 32 hours a week or something. And it was just enough to pay for your hobbies.
Yeah.
So you could go to, if you wanted to do like martial arts, you could do that. You wanted to buy a new computer part, you could do that.
Took that more than once.
Yeah, and then you start growing up, and suddenly you start renting a place, and then you realize all the stuff that comes with it. Oh yeah, oil. Or oh no, my car broke down. Time for a new one.
I'm in that boat.
Or groceries that aren't frozen.
That is probably the part. I'm still reeling from that. Like every time I go shopping, I feel like I've been smashed in the head whenever I see that price tag pop up on the register.
Oh my god. And the problem I have is cooking the food and then eating it all before it goes bad because I'm always working out for work in the morning.
Yeah.
I never have time to make the eggs that I bought 2 weeks ago. I'm like, all right, Starbucks, here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real.
Right.
It's one of those things where you can either have, what is it? You can have 2 out of 3 things. You can have good, cheap, or easy. But like,
right,
you can't have all 3.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Cheap and easy is like your microwave burrito.
Yep.
Anything that's actually not as easy as you think because I rush out the door after cooking it for 3 minutes and I throw it into cold pockets.
Maybe I think it's cheap and easy. Did I say good and cheap? I can't remember, but I'm gonna
Good and cheap is,
cheap and easy
is time consuming.
Yeah, good and cheap.
You don't have time for good and cheap.
Right.
Well, that's true.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, adulthood's a drag.
It really is.
I mean, there are some perks, obviously.
There are, but then there's taxes. And that just kind of, I'm like, no, return to sender. I'm done with this whole adulting thing.
I'd like a refund. I know I didn't pay for it, but I'd want my money back.
Yeah, you don't get that for another 9 months.
Oh my god. This is what I get.
Let's say that first giant paycheck you open where I had this one day this one week when I was working at SIG as acting lead. The night shift lead ended up on vacation, so I took over his shift for the entire week. So I worked my Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And then I covered his Monday through Thursday, minimum 10 hours. I usually work 12 to 13. But then right after that week, I had my Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. So I had all these, and this all fell in the same bi-weekly pay period.
Yeah.
And I opened up that check expecting, X amount, and my taxes were double what I was expecting. I'm like, ooh.
Did you have to pay his tax rate?
I don't know.
He just moved you up a bracket for a week.
Yeah,
just to stick it to you.
Ain't that a bitch?
That's horrible.
Goodness.
Oh boy.
I went home and was happy the
So
week was over, but still cried.
And it's funny. Been working at SLR for almost 3 years now, and I think it was end of last year. At one point, they were like doing some paperwork, so they're like, so you didn't cash your first paycheck, so we're gonna need you to go look through like your stubs to see if you can find it. And I had it, thankfully. I had to like look through all of them.
Yeah.
Because I had a whole like a fat stack because they give you the paper ones even though it's mostly direct deposit.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it was just like, how did I like not realize that I hadn't gotten a paycheck for my first week of work?
I mean, that's gonna be nice down the road. You're like,
Oh,
it's like a bonus to myself for
It's-
past me.
just for being a space cadet.
Exactly.
Well, my first
$5 in your pocket 3 years later.
my first week at Albany, which I started about 3 months ago.
Mhm.
I signed up for direct deposit.
Yeah.
When I went in for orientation and everything, I didn't realize that direct deposit started on the following paycheck. So my first pay stub came in, but instead of it not being a check, it was an actual check.
Okay.
I didn't realize this though. I put it up into 3 pieces, tossed it in the trash, and was waiting for my direct deposit to come in. Oh, it didn't come. And finally, I think I was kind of bad. I think I was feeling like mac and cheese or something in the trash to try to pull out a piece, and I found a goopy piece, and it 100% was a
Yeah.
check, so I had to get that reissued.
Ooh,
They're
that's,
like, are you sure you didn't just lose it? I'm like, no, I lost it in multiple pieces in the trash.
I covered it in macaroni.
No, I'm not gonna try to piece that together and bring it to the bank.
Paycheck after morning.
that's the other thing about making your own food. Is like some of the leftovers that end up in the fridge can get real grody.
Oh,
Like some of the worst. Like I can think of 2 instances since I've lived here where one was ground beef, like leftover, like they cooked it up and they put like taco seasoning in it or whatever, and like we didn't know whose it was. Like it was just there, and it was there for like basically from November to February. We're like, so when we threw that out, like that was a brutal experience. And then we found, I think it was like chicken Alfredo that had completely turned. Like you were just looking at it, you're like, that is green. That is like different, multiple shades of green.
It's not supposed to be that color.
It's white.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's gotta eat your leftovers.
I know. You really do. It's so much harder to do in practice.
Right.
All right, cool. I cooked all this chicken and I will eat it. And a week of like frozen pizza later, I'm like, oh, that's bad.
See, for me, as long as I have the leftovers, I don't typically have a problem eating it. However, my girlfriend will never go back for leftovers. Always try to cook something new or open up a package of ramen or something to eat instead. And
Yeah.
You just made all this yesterday. Are you really expecting me to be the only one to eat it? After, 3 days of spaghetti, I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
All right, help me out and throw it out. Neither happens, and then it just begins to rot.
Yeah.
And that's not a really fun container to clean out later.
Nope.
I've debated about buying a padlock for the fridge just so whatever's growing in there can't claw its way out.
Definitely had that experience. And
So
tried to buy
bad.
a dish locked in my old apartment that I should go get. But I think it'll attack me when I open it.
It's alive. It's moving.
It's drama. It needs poppers and that.
Oh, right. Classic show.
Yep.
One of the really horrifying experiences when we lived at the Bear House was at one point the big pot got used for spaghetti or something, and it just got left on the counter, and which wouldn't be a problem except the lid was left on it as well.
Oh,
So it's just completely covered in fuzz and shit. And it's just like, oh my god! Basically, had to take it outside and hose it down.
See, that used to happen at the Burrow House all the time. time too.
Yeah.
Because just no one would do the dishes.
Oh man.
And this is post you, obviously.
Yeah. It got pretty bad while I was there.
I
But
would walk through the door and just like smell the sink and like, it's been a week.
I think that's why we got so drunk over there so fast so often. Because once you were drunk, you couldn't see anywhere to the side, so you ignored the sink.
And you also couldn't smell it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Everything smells like beer. It doesn't smell like rotten food.
That's probably why I blacked out that first time. The sink just smells awful.
Yeah, drown my sorrows.
Yeah, for me it was the Steel Reserve.
Oh my god. Steel Reserve. That's a beer I'm happy to never drink again.
Not familiar with that one.
It's like drinking.
That was Colby's special for a while.
Yeah, so it's extremely horrible, but it has a very high alcohol content. So it sits in your stomach like a rock. But if you want to get really drunk off of 2 beers, that's a good place to start.
It's like what, 9%?
It's like 8 or 9%.
Yeah, but this is not that high.
It would hit you harder than like a Mike's Harder or Wicked or something like that.
I'm such a lightweight. Like 2 Angry Orchards do it for me. I'm like, all right, time for some water.
It's a blessing in disguise, though.
I don't really drink, but like when I do, it's like, I should probably.
Well, it's kind of a good thing though, because since it's so few and far between, you're able to just enjoy like a few drinks. And,
It can be a cheap date.
yeah, you're really good at
Sound, Gordon.
Excellent. I'll hold you to that.
I expect it.
We need a new braw house, new party place.
Oh, I know, seriously.
Actually, that kind of ends up being my apartment now.
That's
Yeah,
true.
no.
We do hang out there more than anywhere else.
Kind of does.
Do crucial.
Yeah, I'm good.
There you
I mean, we talked a little bit about D&D before this, but how's it going generally with that crew? I haven't seen them in a while.
It's going pretty good. So I wasn't expecting it, but the week before we started our this last game, David texted me and was like, "Hey, so can Caleb Cole join?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Whoa, I haven't heard from Caleb in forever.
Right?
What's he been doing? Oh, he's up here for the summer." So I was really excited to have Caleb come because it's been a while since we've played, and we used to love hanging out with the Coles in general because we had all of our card tournaments in the basement, and our fight nights and everything.
I miss those.
Yeah, we want
that fight, man.
to try to get fight nights going again at some point, but we just don't have a place for it. Even though you can party at my apartment, there's no room to throw down and
Yeah.
We'll just have a wrestle window.
yeah, or a wall, which
Like the Patty and Chris experience.
yeah, then my landlord would toss me through a window. So
You need someone with a semi-finished basement.
Yeah.
Basically, how that goes.
yeah,
Pretty much.
exactly.
Make sure you hose down the mats afterwards.
Oh, wow. That's how Marissa spreads.
Yeah, don't get me started on that carpet.
Yikes.
They're like, all you need to do is take a good shower. I'm like, huh? Everybody has, skin which is immune to all the stuff like yours.
That's gross.
Didn't Caleb end up getting like a staph infection or something?
I think
I'm
so.
sure.
Yeah, I think that actually happened.
Yeah, from the sewing.
That's why you gotta disinfect those mats. Yeah. We're only children of medicinal practitioners. What do we know?
Yeah, we're scared of everything.
I only work in a hospital. I don't know anything.
See a bunch of horror cases.
Oh god! If I could share them on the podcast without being fired for HIPAA violations, I totally would.
Oh, fair enough. So, what do you do at the hospital?
I do mostly right now. I'm doing registration in the doctor's office. So it's nothing too exciting, but every now and then I got to work in the ER, running around and make sure I check all the ambulances as they come in, and
Gotcha.
sometimes we'll do the front desk registrar, insurance info, all that fun stuff that no one wants to talk about.
Gotcha.
But it's not for me. The bill doesn't drop correctly, which is probably saying that's a good thing because you don't like hospital bills. But doing the best we can.
The behind the scenes hospital here,
Right? Because of me, it's billing your insurance, not you.
No, that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I prefer that.
And I got a dental checkup the other day, and they were like
here's what you need, and here's what it's going to cost, and here's what it would cost, but then your insurance covers as much, so here's what you're going to end up paying. I'm like, solid. I can work with that. That's a square deal.
This is why I pay those premiums.
Basically, which is the other fun thing about being an adult.
Oh yeah.
But no, it had been like 10 years since I'd gotten a dental checkup,
Oh boy.
and like no cavities, strangely enough,
There you go.
but like
Hey,
some
brush
pretty
right,
some pretty good like the gums are receding or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's going to be like something really like a deep clean and some medication or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. I actually got my first one in a couple of years when I went to surprisingly also no cavities. And my sister gets angry at me because she always gets cavities. And she always did have cavities. And she's like, I brush way more than you. I'm like, yeah, but I also drink more cream in my coffee than sugar. And she does the other way around. And I think that's the magic number right there.
That and brushing too much
It weakens
could.
the animal.
Yeah.
I just drank black coffee and I chew on a lot of ice, which kind of actually cleans your teeth for you a little bit.
All right.
Just
Fair enough.
hey, I've had one cavity in 29 years.
Well, you also used to drink a lot of milk, and it's the dairy that really helps.
The calcium.
Yeah.
I haven't been drinking milk since I was 21.
I know, but still, you did a lot of that, so you probably still have calcium for the next 10 years. Like a gallon every
Switch
2
straight
days.
from milk to alcohol.
Yeah, it was pretty
Hey,
scary.
you gotta get the calories and stuff.
Yeah, I'm the alcohol. Like I drink like I used to drink the milk now.
Mm-hmm.
About a gallon every 2 days.
Does your body good.
Where the Steve belly's coming from. Cries into gallon of beer. Kind of the point. I don't even buy a 12-pack anymore. Just pack the keg. That's the last fun part about adulting. Alcoholism.
Yeah.
You have to be able to tolerate adulting somehow.
Mm-hmm. Numbs the pain until the next day when
If you're as weak-minded as we are sometimes,
well, hey, I think it's the Irish house.
probably.
You're susceptible.
Well, you can only live as a sheltered homeschooler for so long before real life kicks in. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I mean, you guys weren't that sheltered in terms of homeschooling.
That's also
we were. We met some people like you and your brother.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
love Alexander, but when I met that kid, oh boy.
yeah, that was
He was something else.
it. There were some times.
Yeah. My favorite Alexander moment ever was it was after a cookout at my place, and he's helping bring in all this stuff, and he brings in the hamburger and hot dog buns, and my mom goes, "Hey Alexander, nice buns," and he goes, "What?" Oh, he gets like all red in the face and storms out.
Alexander, we love you.
That was like classic middle school Alexander. Yeah, he's come out of his shell so much. I love that.
Oh, I
I'm so proud of
actually, back when I moved out of my mom's house, I moved into the Dover apartment with Will and Alex. Originally, I thought I was going to have a lot of trouble living with Alex because I had known him for so long, and that was sort of the person who he was.
Yeah.
He didn't find a lot of my distasteful jokes, funny, but it was weird. By moving in with him, he actually was already sort of acting like a different person. I think I don't know when the change started happening. It's only been like a little while since I had seen him.
Yeah.
But then he actually was by far my favorite roommate. Sorry, Will.
He got some individuality from it.
Yeah, and then I actually saw like Alex changing a lot as we lived together, and it was really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because he'd like come home from work. I'm still up because obviously we're second shift on the weekend still, and we just hang out, we talk, watch some anime or whatever, just crack jokes all night long, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I think working at SIG was a big benefit for him, or working at McDonald's first, because I think that's how that went. Was a huge factor in him kind of coming out of his shell a bit. I had his old manager Sean on here a couple weeks back, and so he tells a story about Alexander coming in for an interview, and this was after Sean and I had hit off on a bus ride back from Newington or whatever, and we become friends like immediately for whatever reason. Because Sean becomes friends with people immediately. I was like, yeah, I'm down for this. So he's doing the interview, right, and Alex is being his pretty kind of introverted, very like closed off body language, like not making eye contact the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And Sean's like, this is not going well. And so he's like, I guess Sean hadn't read like looked up the details of the resume, and he's like, Alex Shaw, do you know Gordon Shaw? And he's like, yeah, it's my brother. He's like, oh, I'm gonna show you something. Like, this is how the world is gonna work. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I'm good friends with your brother. Now you get the job.
That's awesome.
And he managed to also give him a lot of advice and kind of usher him out of his shell a bit as well, which is huge.
No, absolutely.
But no, it's a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of stepping outside of the homeschooler vibe.
Yeah, I had to do probably a good 3 years of market management before I was finally able to kind of move out of that area.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of different people and being forced in uncomfortable situations and a lot of crude jokes that you weren't expecting. And
Hey,
it was great though.
uncomfortable situations is how you grew up.
You know what? Now nobody that I meet ever suspects that I was a homeschooler at some point. Whenever I joke about it,
like the jaw hits the floor and like, what, you were homeschooled?
I mean, that's the dream, right?
yeah, absolutely.
We've all made it.
I mean,
I have. People can tell I'm homeschooled.
please tell me I'm not the only one who uses that excuse. I'm a migrant homeschooler. How am I supposed to know this?
I do that sometimes.
Because I do that, and then people laugh. And then later on, they'll come to me and they're like, "Yeah, so wait, were you joking about that, or is that like a real thing?" Oh, that was a real thing.
It was actually homeschooled.
Like, this is kind of weird. Or I'll just crack jokes about how I was bullied in homeschool.
I always say that I was the prom king.
By who? By who? Your younger sister?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I was bullied by her too. I was bullied by all of you guys.
Well, there's always that one weak link at the school that everybody has to pick on.
It's me.
I was that
It's
kid.
the youngest.
Well,
And we certainly picked on Alexander.
Oh yeah, you know how it goes.
As much as the Shaw kids pick on anybody.
Oh yeah,
which
that is
I do have
horrible.
trouble picturing that almost.
I mean, you probably wouldn't even call it
I
bullying.
like stole the last cookie from him.
Oops, sorry, I didn't know, but it's already half gone, so I guess I'll just keep eating it.
Cut in line for making your own sandwich.
A little big smile and like the look on the side of your eye, like does he realize? Oh no, okay, I'll wait my turn.
Oh.
Know your place, younger child. Yeah, no, we definitely gave him his own share of guff. I think the biggest like weird thing about our siblings is like who would hang out with who. So earlier on, it would be like me and Sonia because the others were too young, and then it would be me and Victoria, and then it would be me and Sonia, and then Victoria and Alexander again, and then it would be like, and then Sonia left when she, as she got older, she liked traveling more, and then when she graduated, she like left like she went and lived in Australia and lived in Norway, and so it was me and Victoria again, and so it's this constant cycle of like one of the siblings feeling left out because they're not able to hang. And then Victoria and I had like a really weird relationship in high school, where we were just kind of like really like at each other's throats a bit.
I've had that probably with every single one of my siblings at some point.
Yeah,
for sure. I've had that with you. I've had that with Melissa. I don't think I've really had it with Becca, just because she's always been like the distant one. But especially nowadays, like I've definitely, as much as I've fought with you guys, I've been closer with you guys more so than that sometimes than others. It's definitely a cycle for sure. I think that's the same in your family.
Yeah.
But
and sometimes, depending on the age difference, it can take a while for you to see your like your younger, like as an older sibling, it can take a while for you to see your younger siblings as actual people.
Right.
You're like, oh, you're not just, some punk kid that I have to deal with. Which is, that's one of the challenges. It's like coming to terms with who your family actually is to you. Like your parents aren't just like mom and dad; they're like people that you can actually interact with.
No, I think that actually took the longest for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like interact with my parents as real people.
Yeah.
I still have trouble doing that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it has its own set of challenges.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Well, on a down note.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, we talk about life.
Trying to keep it light here.
Have a course.
That's pretty light.
In terms of beer, for sure.
It's right there on the candy. It says light, right?
It's one step above water.
Actually, I think of it as one step above piss.
Honestly, I could drink a whole can of Coors quickly, but I try to drink a can of water like that.
I was going to say, I could drink a can of piss. Roddy.
What do we do? You had Danny over that one time, and
Oh my
I
god.
forced you guys to chug the bottle of water after we ate the hamburger.
Yep.
And he was outside throwing up over the balcony backyard. I'm just sitting there chuckling to myself like, lightweight.
That was me after my first drinking party.
Can't contain water.
I tell you though, those bushes outside of the row house were
They were
Well fed.
yeah, definitely colored. Like the 2 green bushes and then the one like yellow bush. What's that?
I always said how I repainted the bush outside. Everyone knew exactly what it meant.
Oh my god.
Yeah, then
I can't believe I was able to binge drink like that back then and like not be affected by it the next day. And now if I have like more than 3 beers, I'm just hungover so bad.
college gets you ready for that.
Oh, it's so bad.
I mean, me, I only got good at drinking to try to keep up with Andrew and like Jeremy's garage parties and all that. That worked out well.
I love how we just keep coming back to our alcoholism.
No, it's not the intention.
It's on the table.
Quite literally.
Well, mine's in my hand right now, but it'll get back on the table in a second. All over it.
But yeah, so how are you liking your living situation now? Apartment, roomies.
Yeah. I was living in Newmarket for a hot minute.
Yeah, that was probably the last time I talked to you actually.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was fine, I liked the people that I was rooming with. A little different in terms of perspective. Like, me, come from a really conservative background.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that's kind of hard to, come to terms with, sort of parsing out, how much of it is innate personality and how much of it is like conditioning, and then, trying to figure out like what's a good way to live in the world, right?
Yeah, you gotta kind of find your place.
Yeah. So like, it was fine. It was small. I had my own room, but it's, in terms of floor space, it was bigger than this one.
Yeah.
But the ceiling was there was about 3 feet of ceiling and then sloped.
Oh.
And it was probably, I don't know, like 6.5 feet tall.
Did you ever feel claustrophobic while you're in your room?
100%.
It sounds perfect for a hobbit like me.
Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. And I don't know, just like driving to Newmarket was annoying. Like it takes like 35 minutes to get from Rochester to Newmarket. And there's construction every summer, like on that road.
That is rough.
So like I wasn't really down with that. And then because it's Newmarket, there's limited parking. And I obviously, like, no beef with my roommates. I volunteered for this, but like I'm parking in a lot.
Yeah.
Which is, a 5-minute walk from the house. which is, fine in the summer when you don't have to do anything. Not great in the winter when you're carrying groceries.
Or have to shovel your spot.
Never actually had to do that.
Really?
Because it's like a proper, it's a parking lot with, do you know where?
Oh no, I know exactly.
Yeah.
Parked there.
Yeah. So. Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Been there a couple times. They treat you real good. A little pricey, but real good.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's not the Diablo for me. That's been my barber quit. So.
Oh. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Ryan, if you're out there, I miss you, man.
The odds of him listening to my podcast are
give me a call. That's my contributor.
Yeah, no. So I was looking to do something else, like trying to find something bigger, something a little closer to work, and I guess I was looking for a change of pace in terms of roommates.
Yeah.
Just something different, but just like more living space. So Evan bought the house in August of last year, I think, and was like fixing it up. And Jeffrey moved in pretty shortly after that.
Yeah.
It basically wasn't even a house. Like he basically had his room and that was it.
Yeah.
While he was gutting stuff and putting it back in. And I moved in November, and it took us a while to get like consistent heat. So we were running off space heaters, like it was just cold as hell.
Oh, it sounds like old times.
So eventually the heat got running, and it's been pretty cool. Like it's kind of a challenge because it is all like the bits and pieces of like, oh, this is not working because we didn't realize we needed to calibrate it a certain way, or like, this is kind of strange because of the way the house is built.
It's process.
Like you're figuring things out. It's kind of cool. Our other roommate Evan is really chill. Like, I forget how he ended up. Oh no, Jeffrey knows him. Jeffrey knows him from church. He's pretty cool. He's almost never here.
Yeah.
It seems like he works for like a sound and lighting company.
Really?
So he does like concert gigs and such.
Oh, that's
like
pretty cool.
he was doing he was actually doing one of the like a presidential candidate appearance. Like he had to run sound and lights for that.
Nice.
So he'll be here in and out like sporadically. Like sometimes he's here, the entire week, and he's just gone during the day and comes back at night. And other times he's gone for like 3 or 4 days. And you're just like, we don't know where Evan went. He could be dead.
Yeah, that was me this summer. I need to go back to my mom's house for a bit and grab clothes and use my computer, see my cat.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, are you coming home or should I lock the door? And I'm not even texting you anymore. It's like, if you want to answer time, it's long. You're not coming back. I was like, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, it was good. It was definitely nasty up this summer.
How do you like, how long have you been living out of the house?
Out of the house?
We'll dial it back. How long have you been in your current apartment?
Okay, I've been in the current apartment this is the 3rd year. So, I can't believe it's been that long. Probably 2.5 years, or just about at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent just about a full year out of the house back in the Dover apartment. But then that's when, as soon as that lease was ending, that's when kids and I were getting pretty serious. And we wanted our own apartment. So we got this one. Really lucky because it's really cheap rent, and the place, like, the landlord's awesome. She owns like several houses like in that area.
Yeah.
And she goes through. She got everything the wall. She replaces all the insulation, all new materials, new wiring. You have an outlet like every 4 feet.
Yeah. That's like the nice thing about new houses, like all the outlets.
Awesome.
I can never get enough outlets.
You have like this old-fashioned like wallpaper and everything right along all the walls, and it really takes pride in her place. And so we have it's a duplex, and it's kind of skinny, I guess.
A little narrow.
Yeah, we have a basement, our kitchen, living room, floor, and then an upstairs. So
yeah,
it's pretty hard to argue with that. Washer, dryer in the place.
So good.
Oh,
That was the
yeah.
other thing about the new marketplace. Like the washer dryer hookup was in the apartment below us, and like there was just like no, couldn't do it. And so I think that might be the biggest like the commute and not having a washer dryer setup was like the two biggest things about trying to get out of there, because like going to a laundromat is not my idea of a good time.
So you still like in double life?
Yeah, it's all right. It pays the bills.
Yeah, it does.
Like
okay, that's when I moved out to Hutchinson, and I liked working there. It got really monotonous, and it was in Newfield, so it was a very long commute from Dover.
Yeah.
But once Sid came along, that paid me several dollars an hour more. The commute was less, and I was there for 3 years, so that was a good company up until they screwed everybody over recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't recommend trying to get a job at SIG?
At this point, no. 3 years ago, I would have said absolutely, but what they've done now is they had a 4-day work week and a 3-day work week. Obviously, it was on a weekend night.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up cutting out their weekend shift. They changed their 4-day to 3 5-day shifts, so first, second, third.
Mm-hmm.
I was moved to third shift during the week.
Yeah.
And they cut my differential pay by 15%. So I went from making around like 22, 30 an hour to like high 19s. And
yeah,
I was driving to work 2 extra days a week and spending more gas. And I think this is not worth it. Get me out of here. But they've actually been having a lot of trouble trying to hire new people.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, for some reason, that company was already like in a hot spot because they would hire so many people for like their assembly positions whenever they had to get all the materials out of the warehouse. And they'd assemble so much and then get everybody there on overtime constantly, and then after like 2 or 3 months, boom, boot everybody out.
Okay.
So that was kind of like a big thing. It was mostly like in assembly where that happened, but occasionally layoffs would kind of go into other departments as well. So everyone's been kind of like skeptical, at least about that part from SIG. And then now that they kind of screwed over everybody with their schedules, their pay, and like they won't even grandfather anybody in.
Yeah.
It was on the weekend shift since the beginning, like I was.
Yeah.
And so I've been seeing Facebook ads. I've been hearing radio ads. Now they're doing like Instagram campaigns where they have like people like inside the building, like posing, like almost like a Christmas like party that they're like putting on social media just to kind of make it look like it's a fun work atmosphere.
That's strange.
I'm like, oh no, they're trying to go totally hipster now to make this thing work. But
like the crazy idea here would just be treat your employees better. I know that's revolutionary, but
right.
We just shoot ourselves in the foot. Yeah,
no, it was great till Jeff Bowers came in to the company, and then that's when he decided he was going to start trying to save money for other shareholders, and he's like, well, I think that we could really like optimize this plant by doing this, and universal backlash like all the way across the company. It doesn't matter like what plant. What was it? They took a survey from everybody, and it was close to 1,000 employees, and it was 90-something% of employees enjoyed the shift that they had and didn't want any change. And they're like, oh, well, so there's no guarantee that there's going to be a change, but we just want to look into possible options. And just backlash all the way across the board the entire way in several meetings. And then, okay, we're going to change it to either this or this. Which one do you guys want? And originally what they did is they would show you the numbers of the people who voted for like this type of thing. They wanted this schedule. And then towards the end of it, people were choosing to not vote because they were getting really upset with these options that were placed in front of them. So then by the end of it, they no longer gave you a number of how many people wanted to do this. They gave you strictly a percentage. Well, it looks like 60% of people want this shift. So out of what number? Well, that's unimportant right now. That's just what the survey says. They actually had to have security there because they thought people were going to come up and try to throttle this guy.
Not surprised.
No.
We're good. Yeah. Let's go happy. I never tried to.
Well, you know, if anything, I think I miss my coworkers because that was probably the best work family that I ever had. That's one thing I'll always miss about being there.
Well, that's the tough thing about leaving a job you love. You don't love it because of the job, you love it because of the people.
Exactly. And you can really meet some crazy people on second shift. let me tell you.
I mean, it's no third shift, but second shift gets pretty wild.
I mean, technically, I guess it's third shift because of the way it works. You only have two shifts, so. But yeah, so you have the people like me who come out at night, and I mean, we're a weird bunch. And
more people like you, I don't think we can handle that.
People don't even know what to do with one of me.
I know. I certainly don't.
It's all what we do in the shadows of this bitch.
Oh yeah.
I think I've had more sun in the last 2 months than I've had in the last 3 years.
Damn.
I'll definitely say that.
That's pretty intense.
I never had to wear sunscreen. I'll never get skin cancer or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh no, my skin doesn't know what to do with the sunlight.
My tan's coming back. What will I do?
Yeah, I get a nice trucker's tan driving back from Portland.
Oh yeah, just the one arm.
Just the one.
Oh yeah, always have that out the window.
Yeah.
Oh, I dry out. This one's probably definitely tan. This one.
That was me working a market basket. The sun was always coming up on this side in the morning, and then at night when I go home, it was setting on that side. And I'm like, this is horrible. My arm burns all the time, and there's nothing I can do about it.
One white arm, one red. Well, this sucks.
Gotta keep a lot of aloe on hand.
Like, I feel it.
It's like dipping your arm in a bucket.
No, I really should have one. Like custom built for the car.
Yep, so hang off the side. No more sun exposure now, just aloe the whole way.
Well, people would think you're weird, like when you're driving down the road and you just like your arm comes out the window and then a water bottle and you're just dumping like water all over to try to cool off. People like honk at you or kind of back away because they think that you're absolutely nuts.
Well, I mean, there might be some truth to that one, but
we're not going to say which truth.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're definitely the same old ridiculous family brothers
Oh yeah.
that go off on infinite tangents and make Gordon uncomfortable. Not so much
Special
anymore.
Hanley
Not so
power
much
to make
anymore.
Shaw uncomfortable.
No, we had our times though. I still remember plenty of Gordon faces where you're just like, oh. Or just, my favorite was like the stone face.
Like,
Yep.
It's like, why do I keep inviting these people over?
Alexander does a great stone face.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he really does.
I was so happy I actually saw him this weekend. I haven't seen him in God knows how long. But you ran into him at Comic Con actually.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's on the con circuit.
Yeah. He is pretty darn good at cosplaying, I'll say that.
Yeah, he was really good.
He's gotten really solid.
stuff.
Makes me want to do better. It's only been one though.
I think my favorite moment when I had Alex as a roommate was
Apparently
it's late at night. Alex had just bought like this really nice chair.
Yep.
It was his chair. We called it his throne.
Yep.
And he was obviously I'd be the same way. He doesn't like other people sitting in it, particularly like when he's home because that's his place to sit.
Exactly.
And so Will had his girlfriend over one night, and the two of them are kind of like crammed into this chair, and they're kind of like. Then Alex comes into the house, and he was all excited because he had just gone to Walmart and bought a new microwave, and I think it was a microwave. So he comes in, he's like, "Hey, guys," and then he stops as soon as he gets to the living room, and he sees the two of them in his chair, and then he just gets that stone face that you just did, and his face starts turning red, and it's like this really like creepy like smile. He drops the microwave on the floor and he goes, "Get the hell out of my chair." Well, it's just like, okay.
Oh my
Alex just walks right over and sits down. Off the microwave on the floor. Hey guys, by the way, I'm on the microwave.
It might be broken now, but he's probably got one.
I felt bad a little bit for Will and his girlfriend because they were like, they actually got pretty upset by it. But as soon as they kind of turned and started walking away around and high-fived Alex, like, nice, dude.
Well, like he doesn't like one
person in his chair. I'm sure it hates too. Oh my god.
I'd say it's just double trouble.
I'm like, Will puts his feet up on the couch. Oh yeah, I actually had to stand clean my couch after I brought it over because so, and I talked about him with this, so it's no like surprise. But Will would always kind of like lay down on the couch in paint pops, and he'd always kind of like shove his armpit like into the pillow or like the couch cushion. He'd sit that way for sometimes hours while he was watching shows. So one day I just come home from work and I lay down on the couch and just go, oh, what is that? Like, hey, Will, if you're gonna be laying on the couch like that, you mind just putting on a little bit more deodorant? Thanks, dude. Ask me for a friend.
Appreciate it, bud.
Nice. Oh, it's the worst. It's like you use antiperspirant. It saves lives.
Yeah, the worst was Kenzie's brother when he came over and got drunk and then slept on the couch and apparently threw up on the couch and never even realized it left. And I'm like, why is the couch wet? Oh, yep, that is definitely stomach contents all over it.
Oh,
That's disgusting.
So the same party that I got like super drunk at the Halloween party, my other roommate also got super drunk. Apparently drank like 2/3 of a bottle of gin by himself. Does not remember at all. Like lies down on the couch. Our other roommate Jamie is like, "You need to go to bed. Like you need to go to bed." And he's like, "I'm fine." And then he just like, bleh, and just like dribbles on himself. And so she starts screaming at him. And everyone else is like, "Oh, it's time to leave."
Yeah. Party's over.
you know.
Basically, I was already in bed for like an hour and a half. Party started at 7. I was already in bed by 9 o'clock because like drank way too quickly, didn't have enough to eat before, and just like spent some time blowing chunks off the back porch, and then was put to bed.
I remember, this was your first I got drunk story.
Yeah. And you were just like, what?
Dude, I remember my head like whipped around so fast. I'm like, wait. I actually got some whiplash from that. Yeah, I did wear a nice tech for a week. That's funny though. But the thing is, even if that particular scene's like not for you, it's just kind of cool when they like kind of brings a new experience in because you see them developing as a person like a lot more. It's not the same like side of that person that you've known your entire life. You're like they've done something different. They've expanded their horizons a little bit, even if it was just to try something and not like it.
Right. That's exactly what I was saying earlier about pushing your comfort zone.
Yeah. Definitely.
If you're not comfortable, you're not growing. You might not even be experiencing. It doesn't matter if you're just doing the same old thing every day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's definitely something I need to work more on.
Obviously, I don't condone alcohol.
Which somehow we're back to the subject yet again. But
I mean,
that is okay.
He always his beers is kind of like going in, man. So
that's true. I have a beer in my hands. I'm actually really. I'm really upset though about the Holy Grail down in Epping. It doesn't have the Hanley sigil.
Oh, I know. You can probably bring it down though.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit irritated that our name isn't there. Kind of feel in that place.
What is that?
So it's a church that was renovated into a restaurant down in Epping. And it's an Irish themed like pub. And it's really nice. They have like family crests all along the place, and you can bring your own down and get it up on the wall.
Okay.
And we looked around the entire place. And there's no family. It's really sad about it.
I'm definitely gonna have to rectify that.
Yeah, but they're great. They have really great menu, good drinks, all that stuff, good service. I highly recommend it.
Cool.
Sponsor me.
So you're doing some concerts, right?
Yeah, I am. I am now playing in an acoustic duo in Dover, the Perfect Gentleman.
Yeah.
Name's ironic. It's something to strive for, not something we are.
This is true.
Yeah, so we've had 3 concerts at the Dover Brick House. It's just me and my buddy Scott. He plays the guitar. I sing and play the guitar sometimes as backup. And yeah, it's just a wild ride. Actually, we might be playing Apple Harvest Day too. So getting our name out there. Maybe one of these days start writing our own stuff and get some buddies that do a recording and get our name out there a bit more. See how far it goes.
Cool. But that keeping you. I was gonna say busy, but no, you kind of have to like fit it in where you have time.
Definitely a balancing act. because that project's definitely on the back burner when I do shows, which is sad because he's a great guitarist.
Yeah.
He was actually my guitar instructor 10 years ago, which is a really funny story at parties. He's like, yeah, this kid was terrible, but he's like always trying to worm his way out of practicing and like trying to talk his way out of lessons. Yeah, that sounds like me. I've actually improved more in the last 6 months than I did in like an entire year of taking lessons when I was 13. So
yeah,
that's a plus.
He'd like to, you're hopeless on the guitar, but you got the voice of an angel.
He has said that to me before, and now he's like, hey, you're actually getting pretty good. So, thanks, Scott.
I mean, speaking of like, people going through a pretty extensive growth period, you've come a long way since we started hanging out.
Oh boy.
I'll say.
Just a little bit.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's see. The anger management issues are taken care of a bit.
As long as you're not playing video games.
That was like primarily a video game thing. I even remember like I hung out with his friends the first time in a LAN party, and I was like cussing my head off like a sailor, and every time I died, and they didn't invite me back for like 3 years. And then I finally went back, and I was like, I was stone cold silent the entire time, and I would like politely chuckle to myself every time something happened. And I'm like, oh, that was actually pretty cool this time. Yeah, working on myself a lot. Just like
Doing some meditating, some DMT. Really discovered myself.
Yeah, he also just got better and started winning as well. So.
That's true.
That definitely.
I would get rid of a lot of the anger.
I always found that video games were more fun when you won.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We were playing COD 4, the original Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
I just like run around, kind of like picking around my shotgun class, and like 5 kills, and I would be up to like 25, and then I just my M4 and get 30 before that guy got to 25. Just in the game every time they were getting a little upset about it.
Well, a lot of these people would play Modern Warfare with each other while they were at school, then they'd come back, they'd have these LAN parties, and we'd all hook in. There's usually like 6 or 7 of us playing. And
sure.
Once the Hamleys kind of started playing this game, they'd stop playing Modern Warfare.
It was unfair.
I spent too much time on that game. I got really good on mouse and keyboard, and I would spend endless hours on a single server.
Yeah.
Racking upwards of like 1,000 kills, just going nonstop. And
I'm really sad you never had a Counter-Strike.
we go with these people, and we start playing games on these big maps, and eventually you have to have fun by just kind of trolling people. You just get like a camo outfit, you get like a knife, and then you just start creeping around in your class, and then you're still topping the server using nothing but a knife and stun grenades. And
that was my favorite one ever too. You'd have like the tack knife, the silencer, and the throwing knife.
Yeah.
You just literally run around. We call it the ninja class. You just sit there, and then they come out and throw a knife, and you win the game just like that. It was absolutely ridiculous. Good. I missed that game. But yeah, I transitioned out to Counter-Strike. I got decent at that until they ruined it. And now I'm trying to get back into it because I hate myself, but
What else is new?
Well, certainly not hating myself. That's been a long running thing. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as personal growth, I think college actually did me a lot of good in that respect. I joined an acapella group kind of. I was definitely in a bit of a social like a bubble myself, I'd say. I kind of like, I was good in high school to like a certain point. I think when. And I kind of like retracted my shell for a while.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, met some good guys, came out of it for a bit. And now I'm happy with myself and my growth as a person.
Yeah.
Like obviously we've all done some stupid crap, but
trying to get past it.
Exactly. You gotta do a lot of bad before you do some good stuff.
I had a long time where I didn't really have a friend group, and then
That's the toughest thing I thought.
you remember David Taylor?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one day, because he had been talking about hanging out and trying to play video games. This was a group that we had played with. So I didn't know this kid that well, but he invited me over one time. He's like, "Hey, I'm over at my friend Nathan's." He's like, "We're just burning some brush." He's like, "You want to come over, just hang out?" Okay, sure. I'm like, totally random. Nobody ever really asked me to hang out. So I went down, and we're like sitting there, we're talking. It's a little bit awkward, and then suddenly David's like, "Oh, I gotta go take a piss." David's like, "Yeah, me too." So the two of them line up in the woods, and they're standing next to each other. They both start pissing in unison, and they start singing "Yellow Submarine" at the same time. And I'm just sitting there stunned, like, wow, these guys are weird. And I started hanging out with that group after that for a long time. Oh my god! We were friends for good few years, I think, before everybody kind of split and went to different colleges, different states, and vanished.
Speaking of taking I'm really clinching.
And you can take a break. You can hold down the fort. Yeah, I don't know. Making friends like as an adult is weird. Like you don't do as much with as many people.
Right.
So you kind of have to work with the people that you already know.
And that's the thing. It's kind of like expanding that group of people that you know and not necessarily are like even friends with.
Mm-hmm.
Because we kind of fall into a rhythm when we become adults. You have work, maybe whatever extracurricular activity that you did originally, like for me it was martial arts. And then you have your family, and then your original group of friends.
Yeah.
And that's it. Frequently, people don't go and try something completely new or put themselves in that new setting.
Yeah.
And eventually, you just don't end up meeting new people. And so, probably the biggest shock I go through is every time I switch jobs. And then suddenly there's just a whole rush of different people with different personalities than what I'm used to. And it's funny because like I have this one guy who I started with at the same time, and he's extremely sarcastic. Obviously, his favorite Marvel character of all time is Deadpool, and
naturally
takes after him as much as he can. Ex-military, like swears like a sailor. A lot of your mom jokes. Just randomly comes to me today, and he's just like, "Yo, you ever watch any anime?" All the freaking time, dude. And we just get in a random conversation about like all this stuff, and I'm like, man, this guy's a super nerd. But it's just weird because a lot of times even when you meet new people, you have no idea like what it is that they do, what they like, and it's kind of hard sometimes to actually find that common ground because sometimes you don't want to give something up. Whereas like, hey, dude, I'm a total weeb.
Yeah.
Like, do you do this too? Because there'll be like those people that are like, nah, dude.
We can't hang out anymore.
Like, your weird is rubbing off on me. And then there are those people who are suddenly like, oh my god, like, I know you through, like, all these people. And I feel like I've known you forever, actually. But
yeah, no, there are definitely those people that you just kind of, you form sort of an instant connection with. But it's a challenge, man. Especially, I don't know, I don't have a lot of extracurriculars. Like, you know, you guys were known for your extracurriculars. Like,
that was the thing that we were
you know, you didn't really have any free time because you were always doing something else.
This is true. That's true.
The Shaws did not have extracurriculars, so that wasn't really a thing. That I think Theater Guild was basically the only one.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, thank God for that. But so like that's not really going out and doing that sort of thing isn't, or like finding hobbies isn't something that I'm really used to, especially ones that either cost money or involve like getting together with like large groups of people or both, you know.
Right.
So I found, you know, if I did do those things, I probably would have expanded my social group a little bit more.
Right.
Probably less so because I'm not particularly social.
Yeah, that's true.
That's its own, carries its own set of challenges. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I like every time, it's weird. The way my brain works, every time I try to think of a solution, like I try to conjure something out of the blue, like, oh, what should I do for a hobby? It's just like, you know, black screen. It's like,
So hard when you try to think about it.
99 channels and there's nothing on.
Exactly.
Yeah, every single time I found a new hobby, it's because one of my friends has explicitly like introduced me to it or brought me to something.
Yeah.
You know, like someone like started a campaign and said, you know, like come play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it bothered me to do it for months and I finally can play now.
Yeah, or like Dalton Bernard.
Yeah.
You know, we just play video games because we're all playing League at the same time, and you know, people knew other people. You know, and so we met Dalton through who was it?
Probably Daniel.
Daniel, I think. Daniel. And so then, by playing games with him, suddenly he's like, "Hey, I run these Smash days or nights like down at Jetpack Comic. Come on down and play." And you're meeting like a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah. And you already have like a shared interest.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of like opens up like new opportunities, both like socially and it's funny because we wouldn't be like anything at Smash Bam at Dalton. I can't like train us both.
Mm-hmm.
It almost is my sensei. And, yeah, mine too. I still refer to him as such. But
He's not me in a Counter-Strike.
He's one of those people though that like he knows a lot of people and is like super outgoing and friendly. So like if you can get in tight with Dalton, he'll introduce you to everybody.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people through him. Even people at work. Like there's a lot of people that I just like I don't know wouldn't go out of my way to talk to, but then Dalton starts talking to somebody and you're talking with him, you start talking to them, and suddenly you all become like really good friends. And, like I never would have talked to you if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
Seriously. And it's something that goes back to like being that social ambassador,
Yeah.
Like, being able to bridge the gap between different kinds of social circles and find the common ground so that everyone can kind of connect in some way.
Is that something that you've been kind of dipping your toe into?
I definitely did that a lot in high school, and obviously every time I invite like a new friend to a party or something like that, I had friends from all over the place. I had my homeschool friends, I had my dance friends, I had my
Choir friends.
Exactly, my acapella friends, and all of those circles are real different.
Yeah.
But I was able to invite some people from these parties, and they're good friends. So, and that just makes me feel better because I'm the guy who was able to help these guys like find their best friend.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, a little. I definitely try to do that when I can. I'd rather, spend my time making other people's, like enriching other people's lives, and kind of making everyone feel more of a connection. So
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's nice. It's like a little victory,
Yeah, for sure.
Land with knowledge that other people's expect.
Yeah, you're an internet troll, so.
You're a real life troll.
I was thinking that joke the other day. I was like, you're the troll under the bridge who comes out.
You're like, not this guy again.
Good luck getting by him with your pride intact. Oh my god. Man, this thing flies by. We've been at this for a while.
Yeah, well, a little over an hour. So anything else you want? Oh, wait. Are we excited for episode 9?
You know what?
That's an excellent question.
I was going to say, this is one of those things where I actually very much enjoyed 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's the same thing as episode 4, just new. And like, yeah, but you know what? It was sort of like Star Wars almost going back to its roots.
Yeah.
And, it was way more, it was like way better than, the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it so much. Like the new take on, lightsaber fighting, the Imperium, the State of the Galaxy, it was great. And then episode 8 happened.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And that was far more of a train wreck than any other Star Wars movie I've just ever seen.
I don't know if you're big on anime, but that literally just felt like a filler episode.
Yeah.
Like, it was
I can
not
see that.
supposed to be there. It was just taking up time while they thought of other things to do.
It definitely gave that impression.
Throwing away character development.
So bad.
Just, I don't know. It's like there were like a lot of like stupid points kind of like trying to be forced into this movie that really just had no purpose, or they shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, they didn't add anything to it.
Right.
Yeah,
The whole movie was just like a chase scene, and then it ended.
Which,
like, the
to be
whole side plot
fair-
being completely useless.
To be fair, you can have a movie be a chase scene if it's done correctly.
Exactly.
Mad Max being a very good example of that.
Right.
But like this one, it's like
Fantastic.
Oh, I saw. So there's this, the Corridor Digital guys.
Yep.
They do these video series where they have like stunt people or visual effects artists come in and like critique scenes from movies.
Yeah.
And so they have this guy Eric Linden come in and critique a bunch of stunt scenes, and they showed him the throne room scene from episode 8, and he's just like, man, this is hot garbage. Like, look at this guy over here.
Yep.
He's just like waiting to jump in, and like this guy like clearly is just like not doing anything with his hand, but they still do the thing, and like all these guys are flipping in and out, and it's just like, oh man, that's terrible.
It was cinematic, but it just wasn't good.
Yeah,
Or like
right?
practical. And censored.
And we've been super spoiled with like I would say the Russo brothers movies and John Wick are two like great examples of like really tight fight choreography.
Yeah.
And so when you compare the two, it's like it's just not up to like it's Disney. They have all of the money in the world. They couldn't hire like a competent fight choreographer.
Well, that's like at least get a second opinion.
Right.
As you're saying, like the Corner Digital guys, it's like you can take like a YouTube group, and like this YouTube group will put these, multi-billion-dollar movies to shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's look at VGA season 1 for example. Like that was some of my favorite effects and like the best take on that kind of thing I've ever seen from basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's absolutely absurd how that can blow these professional companies out of the water, especially Disney, who owns almost half of like the media now.
Basically.
Right. It's really sad.
Yeah, it's kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
But
it's great for these smaller companies that can put them to shame. But I don't know. It's just I'm torn on how I feel about episode 9 because if it was the same director, I probably wouldn't even see it. It's Abrams now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, back to Abrams.
Back to Abrams.
That gives me hope. So I'd say gives me hope.
Hey!
Anyway, I'm gonna jump out the window now. But
Andy's gone.
Andy is gone. But yeah, no, I think that it can be good. But yeah, like he was saying, I just think there was so many throwaway things, and there's so much build up in the first episode of the new trilogy that was just thrown out.
Well, at this point, I feel like now there's not even like any reason to have another episode because even if 9 comes out and it's just as good as 7 was, and it kind of like hits the audience as wow, that was awesome. You have 8; it's just going to be there forever, and no matter how much you wish it to go away, it never will go away.
If we have more good Star Wars episodes than bad Star Wars episodes, though, I'm going to take that as a win. I mean, like every trilogy has their black sheep. Right? I mean, maybe not so much the original trilogy. I like all the movies in that one, personally.
Some were better than others. However, none of them were bad.
Some people debate about the prequels, which one was the worst. Personally, I thought The Phantom Menace wasn't terrible, but other people will fight me to death on that and say The Clone Wars was better.
I think as a movie, episode 1 was really good. Certain characters, excuse me, were not particularly likable.
Here's the thing about Ben. I don't even need to get into my Jar Jar theories. Okay, he's the Sith Lord, and if they stuck, there's so many ways that episode 1 could have defined the original trilogy. Jar Jar had been the Sith Lord, and the chase had been about Darth Maul, but like through the entire prequel trilogy, the Sith Lords every single time. I think would help the Lost Rider. But that's just me. I'm no director. I'll just act.
That was the thing. You had, the original that particular timeline was made so rich by all the books and everything that came out around that time.
Now redacted.
Everything that came out that we loved about Star Wars in book form is now just expanded universe. This didn't actually happen. So Boba Fett's still dead.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the thing I'm most sad about is that Boba Fett's dead.
What? It's like, why would you make that canon? Like, why is that? Why is that something that? Why is that the hill you're going to die on? Like,
that
we made an announcement that he's dead, even though he enjoyed a long and fruitful life in the expanded universe. Why would you just
thousands of books?
Why would you answer that question?
The only way I can think about justifying it is, hey, since it's part of Disney, it's kind of like the Marvel thing. It's like the alternate universes. In one alternate universe, he's alive, and you have the extended universe, and in the other, you have the new trilogy, which is different.
But it's hard to keep in perspective because that actually is a thing for Marvel, whereas it's not a thing for Star Wars.
I know. But I mean, I personally believe in multiverse theory for, in a different way for even real life. So it's easier for me to justify that.
In another universe, I'm a good person.
Let me know when you find that universe.
No, you're all right. Yeah, I'm freaking out because every time I go to the CVS to get a prescription, there's somebody with my name and birth date apparently in Hampstead.
What?
And so I don't know if they just somehow made a mistake and changed it to that address, but they're like, oh,
Sounds like identity theft to me.
right?
LifeLock. Wait, no. Trying to get sponsored again. Yeah.
I've already changed everything over since then. All my insurances are different.
Get that new social security number. That'll help a lot.
Yeah, right. Yay.
Just change it. But anyway.
Higher. Golden Cross.
Christina.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, I can't say that. He's gonna get.
Did someone just call me Christina?
I want Gordon to get shut down.
The thing is, if anyone's gonna get in trouble, it's gonna be you.
No, that's true. Yeah, I can't. I gotta put my name out there. Yeah, I can't have too much bad stuff on the air. Please hire me. I do musical theater. What are your thoughts on episode 9, Gordon?
You do sound excited.
I wasn't excited until the teaser came out. And I feel like I get the feeling that there's certainly a lot of potential there. I imagine it's probably going to be something like, because JJ, well, I guess he's not really known for finishing things well. Like, he's known for starting things, like, you know, tossing up the ball and like someone else spikes it or whatever.
Star Trek reboot.
Episode 7.
Basically. So I feel like episode 8 is basically just going to be kind of a speed bump in the way of, so like 7 and 9 are going to be like a single coherent story, and then not a lot from episode 8 is going to affect episode 9. Like, it's going to narratively, but like the direction, I mean, there's not really a direction coming out. Like, you know, you have momentum generally from movies that you carry through to the final film. There isn't really any momentum for episode 8 and episode 9, I feel like.
Yeah, not really.
So I don't know. I'm curious. But I'm also like conflicted about like Disney's whole thing and wanting to send some sort of message, you know, be like, I wasn't happy with episode 8. Like,
yeah,
I'm not thrilled that you guys are doubling down on this sort of thing. And so I'm almost inclined to wait until, like, I mean, it's a small thing. Like, you know, your options are don't go see it at all, or I'm probably going to compromise and be like, don't go and see it until the following weekend. Like the next.
Yar har fiddle dee.
I'm sorry, what?
Yar har fiddle dee dee.
Do what you want because of what?
Do what you want because a pirate is free.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I'm not.
You wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't download a car. 2019's reality with 3D printers, though. Dude, I'd totally download a car.
Oh, yes, I would.
I'm totally downloading it. Can you imagine how much money I'm going to save on my transmission if I could just download it? I feel like with 3D printing, though, that kind of thing is like acceptable because they're like, yeah, open source, it's online. You're not pirating it. It's just like, all right, I paid for filming. There you go.
Yeah. I guess.
The future is not. Well, I mean, come on, you can 3D print guns now. I mean, the guy did it in Japan.
Whoa, don't say that, dude. We're on the air.
All right. He got arrested.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Bad plan.
Make everything but the receiver. That's the illegal part.
That's true. I mean, he would know. He worked at a game manufacturer for years. We're only telling you what's illegal to do that you shouldn't do. We can't get in trouble for that.
No, of course not.
We're not condoning anything.
As long as we say don't do it at the end of whatever we say.
Oh, exactly.
Could cover a whole slew of things.
Oh boy, let's not get into that. That could get dangerous.
Could get real ugly.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah,
It's
thanks for having us.
been a joy.
Definitely our pleasure. If you want to write up too, so let us know.
All right.
Let us know how the ratings go for this.
Well, if I find out, I will do that. All right. Have a good night, everybody.